Welcome to a new devlog, where I'll mightily impact the life of my citizens yet again by adding accidents, disasters and parking. In the last devlog I implemented portals and broke them, resulting in a rift in the time-space continuum, which caused a car to become buggy. Yeah, I got a lot of better suggestions from you guys, so thanks a lot for that. Also, some people didn't quite understand why I'd add futuristic portals to my modern city building game. So to make them happy this time, I add the future mode of transportation today, Blimps. But why would I add blimps first and not something more obvious like trains or buses? Well, what happens if you see a blimp in the sky? You will most definitely think, oh, cool, a blimp. But a bus in the sky would just fall down and kill you. So blimps 1, buses 0. As you see, basically everybody likes blimps. Even to the point where they're actually a valid speedrunning tactic in GTA. But more on that later.
Davey!
First I have to model a blimp. And after doing that, I noticed that I nearly forgot the most important part, the ads. You see, blimps have a perfect ratio and visibility for ads. And you can't even use an ad blocker in the sky. So I added a monitor and wanted the text to look pixelated, as these big screens often are. First, I tried to recreate this effect from scratch myself, and failed miserably. But then I remembered something a wise man once said. You have to work smart. Not hard. So, instead of creating a complicated shader myself, I just got a font from Google. Now I can display all sorts of important ads on the blimps. And I also wrote a script that cycles through longer texts. Now I only need some good messages for the ad. So I gave my Discord channel 1 hour to come up with the best tags for the blimps, and it ended up being way more wholesome than I thought. But if you missed the Discord event and have a special message that you want the world to see on a blimp, write it in the comments down below and I might add it to the game. And because everybody should experience my great humor, I decided to also add localization. Now let's get back to the blimp. Typically, blimps don't blip into existence, so I need a little factory and some stop points where the blimps can land. So I jumped into Blender and modeled that quickly. Then I injected the blimp with some facts and logic, and it now successfully flies to the waypoints. Well, sometimes. Did you know? Blimps are friggin' expensive. In contrast to your mama. Oh. So what will you, as a responsible mayor, obviously do? Of course, underpay them as much as possible. But extremely unhappy people may lead to extremely unhappy events. So let's finally implement a blimp crashing. I quickly googled how to make an explosion. Yeah, I'm definitely on a list now. Most explosions typically use a flipbook texture. A flipbook, for you youngsters out there, is this ancient thing they used before TVs to make movies and stuff. But using a realistic flipbook looks way too detailed for my low poly game. So instead I used some bolts, made them fly all over the place with Unity's VFX system, and added a nice color to them. And here's the final explosion. For the fire I tried to replicate an asset from a Unity store, because I had no money anymore after spending it all on a prince who promised me many wishlists on Steam. And I hope he's okay, because he didn't reply anymore. But he definitely wouldn't lie to me, so wishlist my game on Steam. Now that I have finally invented fire, I only need to write a GTA speedrunning script. For that I basically find a random position somewhere in front of a blimp and generate a fancy curve along that path. Here's the final result.
Hello guys, it's my first day here on the job because everybody else quit, but flying a blimp shouldn't be too complicated, right? I just press some buttons and I should go to the goal. I think that's wrong. Mayday, help, I think I'm dying. I don't care. Mondays, am I right?
Now that all of this works with one blimp, I of course had to try out what happens if over 9,000 blimps crash at the same time. But the only thing that crashed was my PC. So here's what happens if 5,000 blimps crash at the same time. And YouTube compression probably won't like this. Fun fact! Did you know that most fires are actually not caused by blimps? Crazy, right? Well, gotta learn something new every day. Oh yeah, I also need to implement a way for fires to be actually put out. Luckily, I already implemented a fire station in the last episode, so now only the fire truck is missing. I quickly modeled one and used Unity's VFX system to create a water effect. After taking a bit longer than I thought, here's the fire car finally putting out some fire. Now I can finally get to the most exciting part of this devlog. Parking. Currently, cars just blip out of existence, but cars don't need to go out to buy milk, so they shouldn't just suddenly disappear like my father. So I made the streets a bit wider and added parking spots for them. Finally, I sprinkled a bit of code on top of it, and now they successfully park. Finally, I automated the building placement, inspired by another small indie game. And now you can use your painting skills to become the next Bob Ross. And in the next devlog, I try to finish an alpha version of the game, so subscribe if you want to playtest it. Bye.